Hi, my name is Igor Kafetz, and this is The List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle. Welcome back to another edition of the List Building Lifestyle with your host, Igor Kafetz. It wasn't a few years into my online business journey until I learned the meaning of the phrase, you can't improve what you can't measure. This is a point when I first started to track everything that I needed to track in my funnels in order to know whether or not I was converting, in order to know whether or not I was running the most profitable traffic campaigns, in order to know whether or not I was actually making money. And I've only had to do that when I started doing paid traffic. Because when you run free traffic, when all you do is just give your time in exchange for leads or customers or customer flow, then you don't really take this concept seriously. You don't really track anything because you figure, well, it's free. I'm not paying anything. So as long as I'm making something, as long as I'm making sales, it'll be just fine. But when you run paid traffic, be it solo ads, Facebook ads, PPV, banner ads, AdWords, it doesn't matter what the paid traffic strategy is. But as long as you run paid traffic, you always bump into an idea or a question or a concern that, hey, I'm paying money for this and I need to know which traffic actually performs. Now, unlike the gigantic and ginormous advertisers such as Samsung and other big corporations that have, a budget that they have to write off every year, so they just throw money randomly at ads, we, the small guys and gals, the direct response marketers, we have to track, because if we're throwing money at their own traffic source, right, we will quickly be out of business. And we need to know. We need to know what are the traffic campaigns that actually work for us. And so until we start measuring, until we get okay with the idea of tracking, we will not be able to do that. Now, tracking is a scary concept to most marketers. I mean, first off, you have to be kind of technical to do that. And this is a given, right? You really do need to understand some technicalities of your business in order to track. Now, the easiest way to track today is actually a pixel, right? This is how Facebook tracks you. This is how all the retargeting campaigns and software track you. This is how you do virtually anything that tracks today. There's either a pixel or something that seems like a pixel anyway, that you place on your thank you page, and that's how you're being tracked. Now, in case you don't understand what the concept of a pixel, imagine your computer screen. Now, it actually consists of millions of pixels. And so one tiny little square on your screen, that's a pixel. So it could be an image perhaps, that when you place it on your thank you page, the page that the customer sees immediately after taking the desired action, be it an opt-in or a sale, that's how you track. And there's several software you can use to do that. Software such as Quality Click Control comes to mind, Link Tracker, and a bunch of others that you can Google. There's so many today, it's just ridiculous, and they're fairly easy to use, but you still have to understand the concept of placing that pixel on your thank you page, which for most people is a big problem because you have to play with the code. Now, another issue is that if you're doing affiliate marketing, you don't have access to the code. You don't have access to the actual code of the page that you're promoting as an affiliate, because the way affiliate marketing works is that you get an affiliate link usually with a sub ID pointing to your referral ID, right? Basically, if we're promoting yourwebsite.com and I give you an affiliate link for that website, then your affiliate link will look like yourwebsite.com/Igor, whatever, right? So that will be your link, and you have absolutely no control over that, so you can't track sales. But fortunately, most affiliate programs today are sophisticated enough to provide you with a tracking report, okay? If not a live one, then at the very least, an occasional one that you can refer to and see what's going on. But it is important to embrace this concept that you cannot improve what you can't measure. Now, the other interesting thing about tracking is that sometimes just by watching your numbers, you will improve your results. Sometimes by literally just tracking something in and of itself helps you improve results. I'm not sure how it works. Maybe it's some sort of a energetic thing, metaphysical thing. When you put attention on an object, the object changes. But fact remains that in my business and in my experience, the projects that I started to track and not changing anything else, I noticed an increase in results. So now the question is, what are the metrics that we need to watch for? And this is a really common question I get from people who are already tracking, because most people, well, when they buy solo ads or when they buy Facebook ads or whatever, they don't track anything beyond the opt-in rate, because the opt-in rate is usually the easiest one to track. Like if you're using Aweber or GetResponse or SendLane, you can easily pull your opt-in rate stats from within your autoresponder account. You don't even need to install a third-party pixel for that. So obviously it's very easy to track, and since it's easy and accessible, that's where most people pretty much just stop. But there are other metrics that you really need to know and you need to watch in order to take your business to a level where it's paying your bills. So besides the opt-in rate, okay, you also have to watch your opt-in to sale conversion. Now, this is a big one because on one hand, it's common sense, right? On one hand, of course, you want to track your sales. But on the other hand, it's really important to only track the opt-in to sale conversion, because these are the people that end up on your sales page in the first place. So in other words, if you run a 100-click campaign and you generate 50 opt-ins and you generate one sale, then your opt-in to sale or sale to opt-in conversion is one sale out of 50 visitors, because you only had 50 opt-ins, okay? And that's, I believe, 2%, I think. Now, if that's the case, and if I'm right about the 2% thing, which I'm not sure, then your opt-in to sale conversion is okay. And this is another big one. A lot of people, when they track, they have no benchmarks, they have no anchors going in, which is a problem because they don't know to determine whether or not the tracking measurements they're receiving are any good, right? Because it's really no use to know what your metrics are if you don't know what a good metric needs to look like. So a 2% opt-in to sale on the front end conversion is actually okay. Now, obviously, you want to get closer to the 5 and 10%, but you have to be really good for that. And it also depends on your offer. For example, if you're promoting a $1 trial, you probably want to aim towards the 5 and 7% mark. But if you're selling a $37 program on the front end, then getting a 2% opt-in to sale conversion actually makes you more money than getting all these $1 trials. So that's one metric you need to watch for besides the opt-in rate. In addition, you also want to know your average customer value. Now, specifically, you want to know your average customer value because if you know, for example, that within the first 6 months of getting a customer, you on average will make $1,000, that means you can acquire that customer for as long as this customer costs you less than $1,000. Now, that's how it is in theory, right? So, like if I have $1,000 customer value and say I acquire this customer for $800, then I'm cool and I'm loving the process and I'm scaling. Now, of course, not every customer will turn into this average 1,000, but some will turn into 500, some will turn into 1,500, and some will turn into 2,500, while others will basically give you nothing besides the front end purchase. But my point is that knowing this measurement, knowing this metric, the average customer value, you are playing the long-term game, and you're not going to be stifled by the initial cost of your traffic campaigns, which is usually the number one reason people get really, really uptight and nervous about getting traffic, is because they can't see beyond the initial investment. I mean, they can't comprehend how can you be in business if you're spending, $5 a lead or $8 a lead on Facebook ads. Well, some companies can because they have an incredibly large average customer value. Now, a slight twist to this one particular measurement is tracking your average customer value per source. So if you're running 5 different solo ads right now, you better be tracking your average customer value per each one of these 5 solo ad sources, because if you're not, you could be scaling with the wrong source. You could be giving your money to the wrong vendor, or you could be buying traffic from somebody who isn't even delivering in the first place. Because if you ran 5 solo ads without tracking specifically where each customer comes from, and you had, say, 1,000 visitors, and you've generated 20 front-end customers, and out of those 20 front-end customers, you generated 2 high-ticket upsells, and you don't know which one of these 5 solo ad sources the high-ticket upsell came from, you are in big trouble. You're actually, in a more dangerous place than you were when you got started, because now you're running the risk of scaling your traffic generation and reinvesting that money with the wrong traffic source. So you have to be aware of that at all times. Now, if you ask me what's the software I use to track opt-in rates, I use quality click control as well as sales. However, it's not the most advanced software in the world. It is enough to get you started, and especially if you're doing solo ads to your own funnels. If you're promoting affiliate products, then you're in a different game altogether, because, like I said, affiliate products don't allow you to track properly unless the affiliate network is giving you a conversion report. So if you're using ClickBank or JVZoo, or maybe you are a member of a Digital Altitude or Mob, and these usually give you a back office look into the conversions, and you can track them all the way back to where the buyers came from. So if you already have some traffic in the pipeline, if you already have some stats you can look at, I highly recommend recognizing the most profitable sources and scaling those ASAP, and not wasting your time with the sources that don't work. Now, last but not least, there's another question I want to answer, and that is, how much is enough to know whether a source is scalable or worth of your attention? In other words, if you ran 5 solo ads at 200 clicks a pop, is that enough to determine, and one of them, say one of them delivered the high ticket sale, the other ones didn't, is it enough to determine that this just this one source is what you need to scale? My answer is no. I'd recommend at least 500 clicks per source, if not 1,000, if you can afford it, before determining and basically, finally saying, okay, this one doesn't work for me and this one does. Now, I also suggest to not throw out a source if it didn't work with your particular offer. In other words, if you ran a software product or a software offer to this one particular source and it didn't work, it doesn't mean that this source will not work with a business opportunity or with an information product that more like an ebook or a video course or a coaching program. Okay, so whenever you start with a new offer, unless the traffic source you've tested is really, really bad, I mean, no hope, no ambiguity, just plain old BS and really, really bad traffic, I mean, sure, then you can throw it away. But until then, keep your Rolodex intact and test each and every single offer over and over and over again, because you never know how it's going to perform with a different offer. So, with that said, thank you so much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope I was able to give you a clear idea on what you need to track and when and why. And until next time we chat, have a good one. Thank you for listening to the List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode, because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share in the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor Kafetz, and until next time we talk, have a good one.